Jordan is a second-year student athlete for us from the Twin Cities metro area. He's a guy that I probably wouldn't have recruited just off paper, but I got to see him in person, see how he interacted with his team, see all that kind of stuff. When he was a junior in high school, I happened to be at his section meet and saw that and kind of knew at that point that he had talent, obviously, which is important at the Big Ten level, but just seemed like a really good kid, and his coaches at the high school level raved about him. And they were correct. You know, since he's come to Minnesota, he started early. He was one of the first throwers I've ever had that took a summer class before his freshman year on his own and did that to help his degree, but also to start learning how to throw. He didn't really have a high school throws coach, and so and immediately he fit in with the team. He's one of those guys that I have to tell to be quiet at practice every once in a while because he's always excited, always positive. Yeah, as far as his impact beyond the throwing circle, he's a great teammate. We had a freshman start this summer, and Jordan was calling him every day to remind him where practice was and helping him find parking spots and doing all that kind of stuff. We had a freshman come in January, an international kid who had no real connections to the university, and Jordan went and picked him up at the airport and did everything he could to, try to find him clothing and bedding and all that kind of stuff. I know he does a ton of stuff with the Gopher Way, our kind of community service outreach stuff, but he doesn't tell me about that. That's not something he brags about. It's just I see the pictures on Instagram or whatever every once in a while, and I send him a text, hey, thanks for doing that. Anytime our staff gets an email, he volunteers to do that. He's involved in SAC. In the summer, he worked at the Children's Hospital, and that, he tells stories about that stuff, so it wasn't a job for him. It was an opportunity to get a glimpse into what his career is going to be like. His mom's a nurse, he wants to be a nurse, and so he's trying to do everything he can to prepare himself for that career.
He has no problem just being ready to help. Even if it's, in passing, I say, oh, can you hold this for me for a second? Or can you pop over here? I need you to do a testimonial for this video because he's walking by. He'll do it. He doesn't even question it. And I think that's just a really nice thing to have in a student athlete and have for all the work that we do when we are working through developing student athletes' professionalism. He's a really good example of that. He's volunteers with our Magic program, and he's a SAC representative. And I think he's only just going into his junior year. He's more than willing to be responsive and be there and show up. And he's a team player at all shapes, at all sizes. I'm really glad to have him around, and he's a huge asset. And I hope he sticks around for a long time because I know that we'll definitely include him in a lot of things in the future as well.
Everything he does at a high level and with a ton of energy, which is awesome to be a part of, and helps our group in the weight room and helps our group at practice and helps our team when we do team activities and all that kind of stuff. He's one of the most well-liked guys between both the men and the women's program.